Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling drained or anxious, but you can't quite put your finger on why? You might have just encountered what Dr. Christiane Northrup calls an energy vampire. Now, before you start picturing capes and fangs, let me assure you, we're not talking about the supernatural here. We're talking about those people in our lives, sometimes friends, family members, even coworkers, who just have a way of sucking the joy and energy right out of us. Today we're going to talk about 5 telltale signs you might be dealing with an emotional energy vampire. Recognizing these patterns is the first step to protecting your own precious energy. So let's start by understanding what we mean by emotional energy vampire. According to Dr. Christiane Northrup, author of Dodging Energy Vampires, these are people who, consciously or unconsciously, drain your emotional energy. They might not even realize they're doing it. Their need for attention, constant drama, and control takes a toll on us. We walk away feeling depleted, exhausted, like we just ran a marathon. These energy vampires aren't always obvious. They don't walk around with a sign saying, "Beware, energy vampire." But they do leave a trail of emotional breadcrumbs. Once you know what to look for, you'll start to see the patterns. Today, we're going to shine a light on those patterns because knowledge is power. The first sign you might be dealing with an emotional energy vampire is their constant victim mentality. We all go through tough times, but energy vampires? They've perfected the art of victimhood. No matter what's going on, they're always the one who's been wronged. They never take responsibility for their own actions. Their conversations are a never-ending cycle of complaints, drama, and blame. You pour in your energy, your empathy, your time, and yet they still remain stuck, leaving you feeling drained and frustrated. True empathy means recognizing when our help is enabling their behavior. And with energy vampires, that's often the case. The second sign you might be dealing with an emotional energy vampire is their uncanny ability to dominate every conversation. Every interaction seems to revolve around them. Their problems, their opinions, their emotions. You try to share something about your day, and somehow they manage to turn the conversation back to themselves. You walk away feeling unheard, unseen, like your experiences don't quite matter. It's not that they don't care about you, but their own needs are always front and center. Real connection, real conversation is a two-way street. It's about give and take, about mutual respect and understanding. Sign number 3, they guilt trip you. Energy vampires are masters of guilt. They know how to push your buttons, making you feel responsible for their happiness. You set a boundary, prioritize your own needs, and suddenly you're the bad guy. You hear phrases like, "After all I've done for you," or "You've changed." It's a form of manipulation, plain and simple. It's designed to make you feel guilty, to make you question yourself, to make you cave in and give them what they want. You are not responsible for anyone else's happiness but your own. You are allowed to have boundaries, to say no, to prioritize your own well-being. Sign number 4, passive-aggressive behavior. Energy vampires rarely confront things directly. Instead, they opt for subtle digs, backhanded compliments, or sarcasm disguised as humor. You're left feeling confused, hurt, wondering, did I do something wrong? Because it's all so subtle, you start to question yourself. But here's the thing, your feelings are valid. Healthy communication involves directness, honesty, and respect, not manipulation or hidden agendas. With energy vampires, there's often an underlying need for control. Sign number 5, they ignore your boundaries. Energy vampires completely disregard your boundaries. You say no, you're not available, you need some space, and they just don't hear it. They keep pushing, keep demanding more of your time, your energy, your emotional labor. When you try to stand your ground, they make you feel guilty. Your energy is precious. You deserve to have boundaries, to protect your time and space, to say no without feeling guilty. Anyone who consistently disrespects those boundaries might just be an energy vampire. Outro: protecting your energy. Recognizing these signs is so important because it allows us to protect ourselves. Your energy is precious. You don't owe it to everyone. Emotional vampires thrive on draining others, but once you recognize the signs and protect your boundaries, they lose their power. Sometimes it's about setting firm boundaries, limiting your exposure, or changing the way you interact with them. If you've ever felt emotionally exhausted by someone, drop it in the comments. Remember, it's not selfish to guard your peace, it's essential.